What's up, everybody? This is Squiggy with the Music Experience in Loudwire's Gear Factor. We're here at Hometown Rising with a special episode of the country version of Gear Factor. I'm hanging out with Miss Lindsay Ell. You know, you're playing a song or part of a song, and you realize, I think I want to do this for the rest of my life. You remember that moment in time?
Yeah, I was big into blues. Like I got to tour with Buddy Guy when I was 18 for a little while. I was big into Motown. Like, I'm still big into Motown, but like anything like any riffs that were just like had so much soul in them, I was like, what is that? That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so the minute I started playing that stuff, I worked with a guy by the name of Randy Bachman from BTO, Guess Who? Like, if you know this song. I don't even know gosh, whatever key it's in. Yeah. But Randy became like another dad to me growing up, and he was the one. He originally learned how to play guitar from Lenny Bro, so all of these like jazz chords up and down the neck, and I would just sit there when I was 13 being like, Randy, what is that? Like, I want to learn this stuff. And so he was the guy who got me playing a lot of jazz and blues growing up. Yeah. And I think it were those riffs that kind of it opened up my mind to a whole new world. And then really when I discovered Hendrix, like any of like his riffs were just so inventive. Like he was just his own thing altogether. And I was like, man, like that is inspiring.
So coming from that rock, blues, kind of jazzy world, where did the country influence kind of come and almost kind of start steering the career?
You know, I grew up listening to country and bluegrass, so that's kind of where I started my roots. And then like Shania Twain was my idol, and watching her play acoustic guitar on stage, I was like, maybe I could do that one day, but just play electric.
Yeah. And
then moving to Nashville, I mean, years later kind of brought me full circle around again, back to country. I've always written country songs as a songwriter. And so it was just ways of like meshing the two worlds together. And you look at an artist like Keith Urban, who plays very bluesy things, you know, in his country songs. Like you watch his show, and Keith has like a rock blues show.
Oh, it's a rock show
with country
sure.
songs.
Absolutely.
And he's just like so inventive. And so after seeing Keith play, I was like, all right, I can figure this out. I can totally figure this out.
What, in your opinion, was the riff that you wrote that you kind of sat back and said, that actually embodies from start to finish? You know, that I hear Stairway to Heaven in there. I hear BTO in there. I hear these jazz scales. I hear this. What was the riff that you wrote that you felt like was the most inclusive?
I mean, I feel like a lot of different songs on a record, I love to just be able to tell a story. So you have some songs that are over here and you have some songs over here. Sure. And really when I listen to my record, not a lot of it is country or what you think would be country, but what is country nowadays? Yeah. Like it's grown just so wide.
Sure.
I have a song called Wildfire on my record, and it's probably more on like the rock end of things. Like it's just one of those riffs that you can like, it has like blues undertones, but you can build a band over it.
Yep.
I have a song called Castle, which definitely came like a little bit more from the bluesy world. Like and actually before I recorded my last record, my producer, Mr. Christian Bush at the time, had me record my favorite album, like from front to back. And we were just trying to figure out like guitar tones and what songs we wanted to cut. And I was just one of those like identity crisis moments as an artist, being like, I don't know what to do for this next record.
Yeah.
And he's like, forget all of that. What's your favorite album? And I'm like, well, right now, Continuum by John Mayer.
I've heard rumors of this.
So
please tell the story.
Perfect. I want you to go record the whole thing. And I was like, what? And he's like, you need to play every single instrument, lock yourself in your studio, you have 2 weeks, go. And like, I've played like slow dancing, like like I don't trust myself, like. But when you love a song, you don't always understand why.
Sure, of
And
course.
so when you like pick apart the pieces, it just makes sense more.